Okay, what's up guys? As you guys know, the gyms are still closed. So today is going to be another home gym workout and I'm going to show you guys my shoulders and biceps and triceps workout. So basically the arm workout, alright? So you guys are going to see what I'm going to do and it's going to be quite basic. I don't like fancy stuff, but do stay tuned for the important tips that will change a simple workout into a really effective workout. Okay, let's go. Okay guys, so starting our first exercise, which is the dumbbell shoulder press, one of my favorite exercises for shoulders because you can get a really nice squeeze. I'm not a big fan of barbell shoulder press, but I do that sometimes when dumbbells are not available or I do want to go slightly heavier. So today, dumbbell shoulder press, I'm going to do a warm-up. So I have 13 kilo dumbbells over here. Alright, I'm going to do my warm-up and I'm going to show you guys the warm-up and I hope you guys take note of what I do because the warm-up is so important to me because it sets up the actual set for proper form. So let's go.
Okay guys, so I'm back on a voiceover and I'm going to walk you guys through what's going through my mind as I'm doing the exercise. As you can see at the start, I'm closing my eyes. I'm trying to feel that tension all the way in the front of my shoulder at the front delt. And then as I'm coming up, I'm really trying to squeeze it as hard as I can. So the tension should be felt in the front of the shoulder and this translates through to the elbow. So you're really trying to feel the weight come down nicely to the forearm, to the elbow. And then from the elbow, as you're going down, you're pushing up and pausing halfway in between to squeeze inwards. So you can really break down the motion into two main parts.
Okay guys, so as you guys saw for that set, I'm going to talk through what I did. Alright, okay, so basically I'm focusing, the first rep, I'm already focusing on, okay, first I bring the weight up, then I'm focusing on that stretch right here in that front delt right here. On that stretch and then squeezing that front delt. Okay, what I'm trying to avoid is thinking about straightening, extending the arm, because if you're pressing up and you're thinking about extending the arm, you're going to activate a lot of triceps. You want to be thinking of closing the angle like this, which is going to activate your front delts instead. Okay, sorry, my front delts are getting tired from holding this heavy camera, so I'll talk more later on. Okay, first working set. Pick up your dumbbells. Down, stretch and squeeze, up and in. Down, going up and in, squeeze. Okay, maximum weight. Try to go for 10 to 12 reps.
Okay, here I got my cameraman to move to the side because I really want to show you guys something really important. So from the side you can see that the way I'm holding my dumbbells, my forearms are perfectly perpendicular to the ground or to the sky. Basically, you want this to happen because the weight has to translate nicely from the dumbbell down towards your elbows. If your elbows are behind or in front of the dumbbell, it's not going to translate nicely and you'll be spending most of your energy trying to balance the dumbbell instead and you won't be able to squeeze out your last few reps.
Okay, last set. So I've done 3 sets and I want to show you guys this last set because I want to show you guys how I grind out my last few reps. I'm going to failure on this one. Ideally I go beyond failure, but my spotter is behind the camera, so I'm just going to go to failure here. But I'm going to maintain good form and I want you guys to see how it is because I want you guys to push yourself to failure with good form. 24 kilos, fake weights.
Come on. Let's go.
Ah! Whew. Whew. Okay, so with that, we're done with the first exercise. Now we're moving on to the second one. Ideally, in a full shoulder workout, I'll be doing 2 presses, but today I'm doing shoulders and arms. So I'm going to be doing the next exercise, which is lateral raises, which is my number 1 boulder shoulder builder. Okay, so you guys have to watch this one. Okay guys, so our lateral raises, there's 2 main ways to do it in terms of rep scheme, and there's either the heavy and less reps or the lighter and more reps. Today I'll be doing slightly heavier and less reps. Okay, and then there's also many ways to actually lift the dumbbell, but for me I like 2 different ways. So the first way is to actually put the dumbbells in front, lean forward a bit like this, and go up like this, which is the way I'll be doing today. And then the other way is to have your dumbbells at your side and then you lift it to the sides, okay, which is not the way I'm doing today. I personally feel that if I go heavy and I go from the sides like this, I'm going to be using a lot of traps and a lot of supraspinators. Okay, you guys try it out for yourself and see how it goes. So I prefer here, it helps me to initiate the movement with the delts better. So starting with these 16 kilos, I'm going to go about 10 to 12 reps. Okay, so as you guys saw on that set, as I'm bringing the dumbbells down, you can see that my shoulder muscles relaxes because I'm stretching it and I'm not keeping the tension on it. That's the main difference between whether you're keeping your arms at your side or you're bringing it forward. At the side here, you're always keeping tension on it, but that also means that you're going to be activating a lot of traps, a lot of supraspinators. Here you can stretch it, and every time, I like to say, every time you stretch the muscle, you're more likely going to be squeezing that muscle. So I'm letting it stretch and coming up. Now the second main thing is that as I'm coming up, you won't see me leaving it like this. So the angle of my hands is not this way, but I'm turning up like this, because you see the very motion of doing this is going to activate your delt, right? So if you don't turn up, and as the IFBB pro bodybuilders try to say, you pinkies up like you're pouring water out, okay, that's a bit exaggerated, because if you internally rotate this much, you might cause yourself some shoulder problems. But I like to turn such that at the top, at the very least, my fist is this way. So you don't want to leave it this way, you want to be this way. Or if you have some healthy shoulders, you can try to turn it up a little bit. I don't find that to be very beneficial. I think it's not so much about turning the wrist, but it's about how your elbows come up together. So don't leave your elbows down, you see? Don't leave it down, and then you're not really activating your shoulders. You're gonna come up like this. Okay guys, so after lateral raises, if you're doing it right, you should be able to get a nice pump like this, okay? I'm not sure if the pump is showing, but I'm feeling it for sure. Okay, and if you're not, it's probably because as you're raising the dumbbells, you're just using your traps, or you're not really getting the good squeeze on your medial delts, okay? So you really want to focus on that. You also don't want to take too long rests in between sets. I only rest for 1 minute, at most 1.5 minutes between sets, okay? Because if you rest too long, your blood's just going to flow out of the muscle, and it's not going to create that nice pump. Okay, now we're moving on to work the biceps, and we're going to do one of my favorite exercises, which is barbell curls. For barbell curls, I've been avoiding it for a very long time because somehow I didn't really feel a very nice squeeze, but I think I found the formula to it and I hope to share it with you guys today. So let's head over to that. Okay guys, the secrets to the bicep curl, alright? So starting out with how you hold the barbell, I like to hold it with a width such that my arms are actually tucked into the sides of my body, such that my elbow is almost resting against my fat ass hip over here. Okay, so why I think that this is very effective is because it mimics the natural carrying angle of your arms. So what's the carrying angle? If you leave your hands at your side at the anatomical position, okay, you can see that your arms don't go straight down like this, okay, but actually it goes out like that. So by having your elbows closed in like this, you're actually facilitating that natural carrying angle, versus if you do this and then you end up curling this way, but actually the bar is going this way, so it doesn't line up at all. So I like to tuck in my elbows like this, shoulders back like that. So this is the position that I'll be holding my barbell. So you can find this position first, okay, get comfortable, then grab the bar. So grabbing the bar like this, you can see that my elbows are right by my sides. Now the next thing I want you to take note is of the wrist, okay? If you can zoom in to the wrist a little bit,
Okay.
Okay, great. So you see now my wrist is neutral. If it's cocked up like this, you're gonna feel your forearms as you're curling. It's almost like arm wrestling, okay? So you want it to be neutral like this, almost like you're hanging it in your fingers like that, okay? But deep in the palm, hanging it like this. You want to initiate the movement of the curl by bringing your wrist up, okay? Like this, and up. So then the next thing that I like to do as I'm curling, so I'm going to curl up, right? As I'm curling to the top, I like to bring my elbows forward. Okay, by doing so, you're actually performing one of three functions of your bicep. Okay, so the three functions of bicep, first one is to bend the elbow, next one is to supinate, which is to turn your wrist this way, and then the third one is actually to bring your elbow up. Okay, it's a small function, but it is still a function. So when I'm curling and I'm doing this at the end, you're actually performing the last function. Okay, so the way that most people cheat their bicep curls up is that they actually curl and move at the same time, and that's cheating. Compared to if you curl strictly and then you move up at the last bit, so that performs both functions and you're not cheating at all. Okay, so those three tips that I really like to do, and you guys will see me do it on my working set. So I'm just gonna warm up first. This is kind of lame, so you're not gonna see this.
Cheers.
Your right side is loose.
Set number 1.
Okay, when it comes to bicep curls, I'm very, very particular. I think that needs to be a lot of emphasis on curling up the weight solely or mostly with your biceps, okay? If you feel that your forearm's starting to get involved, you have to either 1, lower the weight, or 2, work on that mind-muscle connection with your biceps. This is very important because if you just keep curling and curling and curling with your forearms, over time the only thing that will get bigger is your forearms, and your biceps won't really grow because your forearms will just take the weight of most of the of the stuff that you're lifting.
Okay guys, one more extra tip that I missed out just now is actually for the barbell curls. Now I really like to straighten my arm, almost flexing my tricep at the end of at the bottom of the rep. Okay, and I feel that really helps me get the full stretch on the bicep and helps me to, as I said before, when you stretch the muscle, you actually squeeze the muscle better. So stretch and then coming all the way up. Okay, there is always a case for having constant tension on the muscle, but sometimes you just want to have it fully stretched and then fully squeezed. Okay, for this case, I prefer it for my barbell curls. Okay, moving on to the next exercise, I'm going to be doing some preacher dumbbell curls for my biceps. Okay, so let's stay tuned for that. Okay, so the second bicep exercise is a preacher curl, right? Like I said just now. So why am I doing a preacher curl? When you're doing a normal barbell curl, the hardest part of the movement is actually the middle part. Okay, when you're doing a preacher curl, the hardest part of the movement is the first part. Okay? So by playing with the resistance curls for different exercises, you're going to get the best bang for your buck when you're doing your bicep exercise. So I'm going to do the preacher curl and I'm going to show you guys how I do it. Okay, so coming over here. Alright, so note that for the preacher curl, right, you want to set it up from 45 degrees or higher. This is actually pretty low, I'll be adjusting it later on. But when it comes to preacher curl, anywhere here, you're doing basically nothing. Okay, so you want to be only until here where there's still some tension on the bicep. Now you want to straighten. Feel the tension on the bicep, and this will be the hardest part, so don't shy away from the last part, and then squeeze from here. Okay, don't cock in the wrist. You want to squeeze from here and up. Okay, coming down like this. Tension, tension, and up. Squeeze. Make mountains for biceps. Come on, let's go. Squeeze. Okay guys, so I'm going to start on my triceps part of the workout, and you might be wondering, it's just triceps, what is there to teach, right? So to really maximize your tricep extension, I'm going to show you guys some tips. Okay, the first one is that when you're grabbing the rope, right, you want to ideally have 2 ropes. Okay, this one is really quite life changing. If you haven't tried this, you try it yourself at the gym with your 2 ropes. If you have a home gym, buy 2 ropes because it's really very different. This one really allows you to pull the ropes apart, and I think it's so much more friendly on the elbows, which is a big thing is if you are doing a lot of stuff that is risky to the elbows, like benching or like overhead skull crushers. So the next tip, right, is actually when you're doing these extensions, you want to tuck your elbows to the side like this and then do the extension like that. Okay, instead of having it forward and then coming back, forward and coming back. And I might sound like I'm contradicting myself because I'm pretty sure in the previous video I said that I don't like doing this, tucking at the side, but there is a reason for that. And I think I explained in the other video, what I said was that because if you leave it like this and you extend, you're actually starting from a very acute angle like this, right? You're putting a lot of strain on your tricep tendon and especially over here. You're going to get tendonitis if you don't have healthy elbows, okay? So you want to avoid it if you don't have healthy elbows. If you do, and you know, some people are just really made for exercises like these. If you see some IFBB pros, they can do all kinds of crazy risky exercises and they never get injured, or at least they don't put it on YouTube. But basically you can do it at your own risk, okay? And you really get a very nice squeeze if you're here. And the reason for that is because when you're extended, this is the position where your triceps is the shortest, okay? Because you're at the most extended position. Versus if you're out in front, your tricep is actually not at the shortest position. So get a nice squeeze when your arms are by your side. Alright, try this out for yourself and let me know how that goes. I'm going to do my set. Okay, the next exercise is actually overhead triceps extension, again with the double rope, which really saves your elbow. Another tip if you want to save your elbows, when you're grabbing the ropes, don't grab it with your, like a full grip like this, but what I like to do is hold it like this. Okay, and doing so actually somehow, okay, I think it probably adds a little bit of flexibility, and because of that, it really saves your elbow. You don't feel that insane amount of tension at the uncomfortable area of your triceps, okay? So grab it like this. Then the next tip I'm going to do, and then you can come to the side here. So next tip, when you're doing the extension, make sure your elbows are above your ears, like this. So not like this, but above your ears. Okay, this way you get a full stretch on the triceps. Okay, now the next few reps, I'm going to show you guys how I grind up the last few reps. Keeping my elbows above my ears still. Come on! Okay guys, so that's the end of the workout. I hope you guys enjoyed that video and I hope you guys watched the whole thing because there was a lot of juicy bits in between, and if you haven't, you should go back to it. Alright, so if you appreciated these tips and you think that, you know, someone else might benefit from this, do share this video with them, okay? And give this video a like as well and subscribe to the channel. With that, I'll see you guys in the next one.